commit the crime and push me aside. Act like you never loved me when I can see love through your eyes. You finally realize that I'm standing all alone as you walk away. I'll take four, girl, with nothing else to say. So I walk into the world of tomorrow. Hide behind the raindrops of sorrow. Dream of a love that could have been, but now you're gone forever. My love, my girl, just like the wind. No, 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 no. Just like the wind.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to No Limits. I am your host, the Red Queen, and I'm here with the original singer of Just Like the Wind, Peter Fontaine. Hello,
What's
honey.
going on? Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah. I
I'm
sounded
feeling.
like Wendy Williams for a minute. How you feeling? No. She goes, how you doing? Right?
How you doing? So, introduce yourself.
What's up? This is the one and only Peter Fontaine. I took a little moment to pause for that. Peter, the one and only, just like the wind.
You know that's my favorite song.
All right.
You know I had to open with that one. So, tell us, Peter, where you from?
I'm born and raised in Spanish Harlem, New York City. That's for anybody that's not from New York City. That's Manhattan. That's from 96th Street up to 125th Street. That's Spanish Harlem, where a lot of freestyle artists started. That's my birth. That's where my home is. And right now I'm in Jersey, but
New York boy in Jersey.
oh,
So you started singing and dancing at the age of 15, right?
yeah. I started at a very early age. I was a pop locker way before I became the artist that everybody knows as, Peter Fontaine. I was known as Body Mechanic on a street level.
I was
I
just bring that up.
got into that early, pop lock and that. Boom, boom, boom.
You was an extra on Beat Street, right?
Yes, I was. I
How was
was able
that?
man, listen, I'm gonna tell you, it was crazy because the behind the scenes stuff that they didn't record on camera was like the best times. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
God rest my brother Louis, Fontaine. Me and him both went down there, and Lester Wilson, one of the choreographers for Beach Street, picked us out of the line. My brother Louis, real quick, my brother Louis was like, yo, Pedro, vamos, let's go down to Beach Street, man. Everybody's down there. Show Kenny, Rocksteady, the guys that we knew. Show them some support. I'm like, and do what? What, we gonna stand on line? We're not gonna get in no movie, man. You crazy. He's like, nah, but just so support to the guys from the hood, from our area. I'm like, all right, we went down there, drinking a 40 ounce and smoking a J. Yeah, I keep it real. So we went down there, and there's, we chilling on the line. It was at Roxy's, also known as 1018s. As we on the line, Lester Wilson passes by us, and he looks at me and go, Body Mechanic. I go, yo, what you doing here? Who you with? I'm like, I'm with my brother Louis. He said, yo, come on. He took us all the way in, told me to jump on this middle stage, and he said, do your thing, man. The camera's gonna pass you. I was like, oh, okay. I did my little pop locking thing. And when we went to the movies, man, my brother and them, they saw me like a couple of times, um, as they say, an extra, you know what I'm saying? But at least the camera that panned and passed me, they was able to catch me like 3 or 4 times. And it was crazy. But like I said, stuff that was behind the scene was more fun than the actual recording of, Beat Street is a classic, man. It was just an honor and a blessing just to be a part of it.
I bet it was. You was um known more in the hip hop community, right? And then
Well,
later on, you transformed into the unique vocalist of the
yeah.
freestyle music.
Well, I was known in the hip hop community because of the fact I was down with Zulu Nation. Back then in the mid '80s to the late, Zulu Nation was all over.
Hmm.
Like I still consider him like a godfather to me because I want to give a shout out to my brother Isaac, who's out in Florida. He's the one that got me involved with Zulu because he was a Zulu king back then. And a rest in peace to my cousin Michael Correll, aka Lucky Strike, who he was my Shaka Zulu King chapter leader for chapter 3. I was down with chapter 3. It was considered the entertainment chapter of Zulu Nation. Um, and in my hood in Spanish Harlem, Zulu was just all over the place. You had from Gestapo, which that was chapter 13 on 125th Street. That was trouble. That was the guys you did not want to meet. Okay, those were like the guys they were sent to put in discipline. So I knew them as well growing up in the hood. Um, but being involved with Zulu, that was like, I not to say it was the total birth of hip hop, but it was a part of the movement of hip hop. It was a way of life. It was anything involved that was on a street level, from graffiti, DJing, MCing, um, and it was an outlet for us. When we was out on the street, either we got in trouble, or we was involved in something that kept our energy going in the right direction of positivity. So joining chapter 3 was a good thing for me because being the entertainment chapter, my cousin Lucky Strike kept the real regimen on us, pushing our talent, whether it came to whether you was a rapper back then, an MC, graffiti writer or dancer. And Lucky, he even followed me into the freestyle era when freestyle started to come out. He tried to help me out and push me to a couple of labels, but it was that part, and I was there, seeing the birth of like Chacho, like Mantronics, you know what I'm saying? Run DMC before they were like the Run DMC that everybody knows, like
Hmm.
at the starting stage. And if my cousin Jose Ortiz, Ruben, was watching this right now, he'll tell you the truth, as God is our witness. It's we lost to LL Cool J in a contest. He was pop lockers. And then here comes LL Cool J doing his thing. And my cousin was like, yo, we're not going to win. This guy's like rapping. And he's like, what are we doing here, Pete? So that whole movement, man, was just my way of life. That's just how I was on the street level, man.
I'm trying to tag your other cousin, Pika,
Ah, El Picante.
Pikachu, like I call him. So in 1989, you became the best known for writing and singing two freestyle classics. One that is The Way She Looks at Me, and my one of my favorites, Just Like the Wind.
Yeah.
So where did The Way She Looks at Me come from?
Well, I've always said the same story, and I always give the credit to Frankie Cutlass. You know, anybody in the freestyle community and even in the hip hop community knows Frankie Cutlass. Um, and you got to understand that, coming from Spanish Harlem, if anybody could just picture this in their head, you know, every project, because we have a lot of projects in our area. I was from Washington Projects. Frankie Cutlass was from Metro North.
Hmm.
Um, and one of my ex partners, he goes by the original Puerto Rican DJ Demo. He was from Carver Projects. So, I mean, I won't get into much detail. The reason why, like, Demo always thought, this was after, I was still part of Zulu, but the Body Mechanic, it wasn't fizzling out. But this whole movement, TKA, they were doing, they were putting out records. They just got signed to Tommy Boy. Sapphire, she was from 110th Street. Willie Ann Moore and Frankie Cutlass was in a group, Ann Moore, which is the name of the group. Lisette Melendez, from 106, in that area. So we had a lot of freestyle artists from our area. Mark Anthony, before he became the salsero that everybody knows, was into the, the freestyle, who else? Arabian Nights, Latin Rascals. I mean, so all this movement was going on, and it was a Latino movement. I'm Latino. So that whole movement was.
You look like a white boy.
Oh yeah, no, do I? So that whole movement to me was like, wow, this is a culture thing. This is us making a statement, like, and this music, this is hot. They're using hip hop beats and they're doing this and that. So I kind of I was interested in it, and it had to be, it had to be. My boy, Demo said to me, he said, "Yo, Pete, like, yo, before you get lost up in these streets doing other, excuse my French, other shit." Ooh, can we say that, or can we bloop that or not?
You got it. You can say whatever you want.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
This is my show. You do what you want.
All right. Yeah, I got your permission. All right. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know yet. As
long as it's not stripping, we good.
All right. So, so Demo said, before you get caught up in some bullshit, before you get caught up, and wind up being one of those guys that, we either visiting in jail or going to his funeral, you got talent, man. You're poetic, man. You should sing, dog. You got a nice voice. I heard you, spitting a little this and that. And I'm like, really? You say, yeah, man. I got a friend of mine's that is deeply into that music. And I'm going to send you over there to him, man. His Frankie Cutlass, And I was like, really? I said, yeah, all right. So I went to Frankie's house, and back in the days, we chopped it up, do our little thing. And Frankie said, well, listen, I'm going to come up with a concept. What do you think? Something about like the way girls look at guys in bars. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, really? Oh, what do you think? What would you call it? Girls looking at guys in bars? The way she looks at me. All right, you know what I'm saying? And back then Frankie had his little keyboard in his little room, so he would do his thing, play the keyboard. He made a little demo, and he helped me out because he came off with the first couple of lines, is there a way that I can prove my love to you? And then he like looked at me like, I see the way that, and then we just kept on building. And then he put a little demo together, and, on the strength of love, for Spanish Harlem and stuff like that. He was like, yo, take that with you, man. See what you can do with that. Build on that. I took that demo to so many people. That demo was like recycled so many times until finally it got to Tony Garcia. And then he did his thing, but that was the only one song that I can actually say that I never was, how can I say, something that happened to me personally. You know what I mean? Although girls do look at guys, y'all females be like, mira, él se ve como bien,
Está bueno.
Yeah, está bueno.
Está como lo recetó el doctor.
Está casado. No importa, be like, oh, well, I'm in trouble.
Well, back then the girls didn't, confront the guys. The guys always confronted the girls.
Oh yeah, but y'all had those looks. I mean, if it wasn't, then the guys like feeling like, yo, I just lucked out. Like, she was staring at me, but it was because I don't know, I had something on my face. I went up to her, what's up? What's up? My name is
Or you
such.
had a booger.
No, I was just looking at you. You got a booger on your face. I just these are all embarrassing. Get away from me now.
How about Just Like the Wind? That's
Oh
one of my
man.
favorites. I told you this before. That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that song means a lot to me.
Well, that was a personal song. That was something. And I know I'm on your show, but I said it CPR. I was on an interview with him, and I said it in a couple of interviews. I just never mentioned the girl's name
Hmm.
because it was so many years ago. But that was a song I personally wrote for a female that I got really whooped over. I got crazy over her, and in the middle of the night, it was more of an affair. She was like, "Yo, we can't." She was the guy. Like, listen. She was the guy. She was like, listen, I'm married and you got to go. This can't happen no more. I'm like,
Oh,
what? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
what do you
I just
mean?
bought you a necklace, man. What are you talking about?
Oh.
I was like, man, I was heartbroken. I was still a crazy teenager, and I was like, man, I thought this was like something true, and now you're telling me I can't be a part of this.
Hmm.
So I wrote her like a Dear John letter kind of deal. I was writing my feelings on a piece of paper, and mind you, the way she looks at me, I was already signed to Tony Garcia, and when I wrote this, I looked at it and I saw it as a song. I'm like, man, like every word for word, as I look into your eyes, I can see that you wanted me to love you. You wanted to be mine. And then the melody just came in. And I'm like, whoa, this is like a song. And I just got signed to a record label. So I was like, took the forget leaving the letter. I was like, Toma, I'm gonna take this with me for a minute. I'll dedicate it to you, okay? But I'm taking this with me. Grabbed
Oh,
it,
damn.
went down to Tony. I was like, yo, Tony, this is what you need to put out. Because this is what I just went through. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I guess, it's just like anything, when you go through something personally and you got that passion and you sing it with passion, and the people felt that. So I think that's what made Just Like the Wind, the song that everybody just like really cling to. You know what I'm saying?
It's very touching. They sang that song to me.
Yeah. They sang it to you? He was like,
He
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
He can't sing all that great, but he did sing it to me.
Oh,
Somebody in the past, or somebody in the past. But
okay.
it stuck with me, and I love the song. Like I know it word by word, and it's just an amazing song. I
Thank
love
you.
it. I told you that when we spoke last time.
Yep.
It's like it's amazing. So then later you became a free agent after them two songs.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I left the company. I wasn't happy with things that I was, I have to say a friend of mine's that passed away, and I got to give a shout out to him, Sweepy. That was his nickname. He was part of the Dead End Kids from the block that I grew up on 101st. Um, kind of whispered in my ear about something. He always had his ear to the streets, and based on that he had told me, he was like, "Yo, I'm just gonna be straight up blunt." He was like, "Yo, Pete, you're doing all these shows, Hot 97 kind of deal. You're doing all these nightclubs. Like, what's up with the loop? Like, I heard through a grapevine, you're getting paid, but you're not getting paid. Like, you gotta question your management, man. You gotta question your record label, because after a while, man, like." I know, you love this kind of stuff and you do your thing, but business is business, man. I'm just
Hmm.
a little chirp in your ear. So based on that information, I started to question. I questioned my management, George Vascon, God rest his soul. Um, and I said, yo, George, man, am I getting paid for a lot of these shows? I must have done probably over 100 and something shows with everybody. And when I mean everybody, everybody from Big Daddy Kane to, Bismarcky, the
That's big
Judy.
money.
Yeah, it's the Judy Tauruses. I mean, they were getting played on Hot 97. I wasn't. Okay. But the one thing about my management, just to go based on that before I go into the Tony, my manager, George Vascon, used to manage Judy Torres, Johnny O, Cynthia, Suave, EXO, Koala Bet. You know what I mean? Um, Edie, if I forgot a couple of more, I'm sorry, but
Koala
George
Bay is
was,
here, and so is Edie.
yeah. Oh, are they? Are they in the
Yeah,
room?
they're here.
Oh, Roger, right? Roger from Koala Bet's in the room.
Yes, I
Yo, my
think.
man, what's up, Raj? Love you, man. Much love and respect. And E, much love and respect, baby. So that was George. Vascon used to manage us, and here we are. All these artists is on radio, and George was very, very tactic. Um, real quick, not to go off the subject, but Suave had I always talk with Suave when I have shows with him. And my wife, who I'm married to now, she gets the understanding a little bit of this industry. Suave was like, yo, Pete was supposed to be the next Suave. And I told my
Mhm.
wife this story because George Vascon was the type, whatever record label he was working with, whether it's Micmac, High Power, he would push you because that's his job as a management, to push you, get on the radio, get airplay, start getting paid, get your, and do your shows. So I
Mhm.
was up and coming after Suave got on the radio. I was next in line. Um, and then going back to it, that's the whole Tony and George Vascon. So all the shows that I did do, and my boys telling me, I'm like, yo, I'm not happy, George. I'm not happy. He's like, why? I said, well, am I getting paid for these shows? He said, Pete, if you was really getting paid, obviously I would have gave you money. I'm not the type to jerk you around like that. And I had a trust with George like this. Me and George was cool. Um, but he said, if you're not happy, like, what are you feeling? I said, I'm not happy, and I don't feel like I want to do anything anymore. And he's like, well, listen, an unhappy artist is not going to perform well. You're not going to push to your limits. So I'll be honest with you. If you want me to let you go, Pete, I'll let you go.
Mhm.
You do your thing. He said, as far as Tony Garcia is concerned, I don't know if that's going to be easy. So let me call him first and then set him up. And then, set up the pitch like you're not happy and so on and so forth. And then you talk to Tony and then you give him your true feelings. So that's what he did. And I after that, he said, listen, he called me back. He's like, I spoke to Tony. He said, call him. I, I called Tony. I told him how I was feeling. And then came the big ultimatum. Tony tells me, my song went number one somewhere, but I'm not going to tell you where. If you want to leave George, fine. If you want to leave me, fine. But I'm going to give you an ultimatum. If you re-signed with me for 5 years as management, production, chacho, I mean, yo no puedo ir para el baño without asking this man permission. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hombre, no.
he said, that's what it is. You got to sign with me 5 years, exclusive contract. And I said, I
Mm.
don't know. If I'm not happy right now, I might be unhappy again in another year or two. So, nah, not really. I told him, don't worry about it. The one thing I knew, because I was the creator of the melody, I wrote the song and I vocally sung the song. So if my song went number one somewhere on the radio, I'm going to get my pay now. It may not be ASCAP, because I was a member of ASCAP, and I
Right.
am still to today. I'm going to receive those royalty checks, because I know, if anything I knew in the business was that part, that if you write your own songs and you're part of that publishing, you get paid for that. So I would receive checks. And I told Tony Garcia, I'll take my chances. And this was obviously back in 90, you know what I'm saying? Around 90, going into 1991. So obviously there was no such thing as Facebook, the YouTube or anything like that, social media. It's just phone calls, people talking. Yeah, yeah, he's number one on the radio. Or you look on the Billboard charts and you look at oh wow, I made number two. So that's where I parted. I parted with
But
Tony.
somebody else sang your song.
Well, yeah, that came about after I left the record company, and after the fact that I come to find out down the line, and this now we got to jump to 1990 to like the 2000 and all. When now Facebook, and before Facebook, what was it? MySpace. Remember that?
Yep.
MySpace. Yeah, their space. I didn't go to your
Yeah,
space.
we didn't go there.
Nah, so then I started to find out, like I started to see the YouTube videos, and oh snap, the just like the wind
That's my song.
in Brazil. What the heck? And I'm looking, and I really couldn't notice it too much. And then no, but I know that's my song, and it's out in Brazil, and somebody's singing my song. They got two dancers on stage. I'm like, what the hell? So investigating, I called up a couple of inside friends of mine's. I don't know if I want to mention their names or not, but
You don't have to.
they were cool peoples with me from day one. Until today, they're my panita. So much respect to you guys if you know who I'm talking about. I know he knows.
But back then they thought that you had passed away.
Well, they said something like that because from what, and listen, I understand what Tony did. Okay. Now, this is that Italiano where this is business, not personal. He invested the money into Just Like the Wind, The Way She Looks at Me. The song goes number one. The artist, moi, leaves the company. He's got to push the song. He's got to promote the song. And I'm not to be found. Oh, I don't want to deal with him. So he gets somebody else in that space, the opportunity, NV. That's who we're talking about here. And me and my wife was looking at an interview, not an interview, a Facebook Live that he actually explained this, that he had got the opportunity to sing two songs from an artist. Didn't mention my name, though I'm not getting a little upset here. Nah, let me stop. Didn't mention my name.
Your shirt in a few.
Yeah. But, he was like, he got an opportunity to sing two songs from an artist that just left the label. Fine. Grant you. I wouldn't do that because I'm just that loyal street guy. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking like that type of, deal. But you want to do that? Go for it, and that's what he did. He took the two songs. He went out to Brazil. They promoted the songs. They promoted it. Obviously, at that time, he didn't do the remake. So he was using my vocals. And on the actual label, it said Tony Garcia featuring Peter Fontaine. So any DJ that saw that was like, well, what happened to Peter Fontaine? So whatever story they made up, from what I heard through a grapevine, they made up a cockamamie story that I died or I was locked up.
Well, Edie just said the label said that you guys were all dead.
What?
Yeah, Edie said the record label said we all did. We all died.
Wow. Yo, Edie, that's my sister. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah, I
my
love
freestyle
her.
sister. So Edie, me and you are actually the Walking Dead right now. Because we just came back from the dead. We just came back. Hallelujah. We're alive again.
But y'all stronger than ever.
Yeah,
Y'all stronger than ever.
But
It don't matter.
That's sad, because the fan base gets that picture in their head. And now they see Edie, me, Ronaldo on Facebook doing interviews, doing shows. I mean, if that's not in a way God's sending of saying what is in the dark will come to light, this is what it is.
Yeah.
This is the internet, you know. Unless you're hiding something that desperate and you don't, or you are not involved in the internet, it won't come to light. But we're still here and we're still strong, you know.
Hmm.
And it's sad because the fans, and that's one thing about it. The fan base gets very confused. Like,
Facts.
Edie's alive. Wow. Oh snap, Ronaldo. Oh
Hmm.
snap, Peter Fontaine. And listen, I'm not here to hang NV. I'm just saying I know him personally. Like, come on, man. I mean, you've been doing it so many years, and you've done your own rem remix. I was trying to
Hmm.
get very college educated there. Reminiscent of my song.
Oh,
No, listen, you did the remix, okay? Tony did it. You did it. It's all good. You did your own vocals, but it's never gonna touch mine's, And I'm being honest. And it's not because I'm cocky, but my song has been played so many times in so many places. When you go overseas, that's different because nobody knows me out there. But from the tri-state, from Connecticut to Philly to New York City, Florida. I mean,
have you ever been to Canada?
no, but are we going there
They're
anytime
they're
soon?
they're asking if you ever went to Canada.
Nah, never been to Canada. But I know those Canadians, oh, mate,
They
play a
love
little bit of hockey with you if you want. Nah.
they love the freestyle,
Yeah, listen.
especially my friend Costas. He loves
Oh,
freestyle. He
oh,
knows
yeah.
a lot about freestyle.
Okay, okay. But yeah, that's what it was all about. And what you said about going back to the question, but giving them, giving the whole, who's in watching the interview, the insight. But yeah, I became a free agent. And then wind up just doing my own thing and kind of like not signing with Metropolitan, but a couple of producers, Michael K. Gomez, Wilson Yepes, who was involved with Metropolitan from the year, I would say 96. I went back to New York City because I used to visit my hometown a lot. Bumped heads with some of these producers that I knew from back in the days. And that's where I came about with One Moment in Time and You're an Angel. That was on Metropolitan Records on a
Hmm.
compilation.
And in 2011, you self-released a single close.
Yeah, close your eyes. Um, I gotta give a little shout out to Anthony Boricua Pasi. Um,
I know
he,
him.
yeah, he introduced me to Alex Freestyle, not Alex Nation, Alex Freestyle from California.
Okay.
I met him at one of Anthony's shows, and the guy was a big fan of mine. He was like, "Yo, Pete, I love Just Like the Wind, this, that, and the third." And I kept in contact with him, and with God's blessing, man, I don't know why, but a lot of certain people has just like blessed me with music. And for the business aspect of it, with all respect, they were like, no money, just bless me with it. Like, yo, you a legend. Here, check this out. See what you could write to this. And it was I sat on this beat for like a long time until I met my wife. At that time, wasn't my wife, but I got googly eyes for her,
Oh
and
God.
I wrote a song for her, and the end result was "Close Your Eyes," and the beat was hot. You know, I think the song could have went a lot more further than what it did. Um, but I opened up my own little independent label called Power Force Entertainment under an LLC, and I was learning more and more about the business. Now it doesn't exist, um, but I did put it out on cdbabies.com. I got a couple of people to hear it. Um, I went out to the Diamante show out of New York City,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I performed it out there. So, it was a good song, you know what I'm saying? And I felt it was a different take to the direction
Mhm.
that I was going, other than the fact, I had One Moment in Time and You're an Angel. This song became something that, I was like, yo, it's got a hot beat. And certain people were like, yo, that's different. That's a whole entire different beat, you know what I mean? And a feel. So, and I thank Alex, Alex Freestyle for hooking me up with that. You know what I mean?
I keep seeing you going like this, so let's talk about your shirt.
Yeah.
What's
But
up
that
with it?
was in the cup. Let me
Pura familia. He's drinking apple juice.
Puro Familia. Camden, New Jersey. Shout out to my CMD people. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. Y'all took me in as a child. As I say, as a baby. I came to Camden, New Jersey. Didn't even know the place existed, to be honest. When I wound up there, found out a whole new world of freestyle, Tasmania Records, the whole, Pure Pleasure. Shout out to Jose, Mike Astoriga, Pure Pleasure. Um, to Mike, you had Mike, you was interviewing Mike, the dancer,
Mhm.
you know,
Michael
uh,
January.
yep, Mike January. That's what he calls himself now. Let me stop. Nah, I'm only playing with you, Mike.
He's cool.
But
He's
yeah, I
cool.
met I met Mike and um and his partner. He's probably gonna hit me up and be like, "Yo, how you gonna forget my name?" Well, listen, I'm drinking apple juice. Now let me stop.
Pika's here too. So we got a little story Pika told me.
Oh yeah,
Pika
yeah.
talked
Well,
about.
those two guys, I met them in Camden. They became my dancers. That's Mike told you that. I know I saw the interview too. But when I moved to Camden, man, it was a whole new world. It was like, you know, oof. Um, I moved out there, and what was the question again? No, I going out there, I met so many people, and I wanted to do the New York style. And then my cousin Pika moved in that area, and I bumped heads with him. So me and Pika always like this. Um,
He used to dance for you, right?
well, he used to dance for me. Yeah, he used to dance for me, but he was his own element. You know what I mean? But getting to the Puro
Pura
Familia,
familia.
DJ Jose, and like I said earlier in the interview, the Puerto Rican DJ Demo was my partner. Now I'm not a DJ or not like that, but Puerto Rican DJ Demo, he's got his own entity. He was known in hip hop. K Slay. They sold this cassette called The Warnings, Spanish Harlem, Ultimate. That was like if anybody that's from New York City or who's ever heard of Kid Capri, DJ Ted Smooth, uh, Tony Touch, that we call Tony Talk guy, all
Mhm.
that was that hip hop movement. So going back to DJ Demo, he involved me with his organization, which is the DLP, the Download Production. And I used to do crazy like characters on some of his cassettes, like Rude Boy. This is Rude Boy Ragamuffin. Y'all don't know what y'all talking to. Y'all talking to the one and only DJ Demo. I would do stuff like that. So I would do like character voices for DJ Demo, and he would do his thing. So when I moved to Camden, New Jersey, I met a DJ by the name of DJ Jose.
Mhm.
Um, and he used to rock freestyle. He was nice with it. And this was like on my down, like on my downfall. I could say downfall, because when I moved to Camden, I wasn't really thinking about doing any shows. I wasn't thinking about doing nothing. I got married. I just wanted to get a regular job. But so many people were like, "You're Peter Fontaine, the guy that sings just like the wind." And I was meeting so many people like that. And so meeting Jose and him doing his thing, I started to get back into the fling of it. I started to feel like, damn, yo, this is, you know what? I got a lot of love in Camden, man. You know, maybe I could do the same thing that I was doing with DJ Demo in New York. And as a matter of fact, I used to go back to New York, and every time Demo, and he caught me out there, but I used to go back to New York City. Demo would give me like a cassette, or and then it started to change from cassette to CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Pete, I'm gonna bless you with a CD, and I would take those CDs and I'll make duplicates of them. Then I would go hustling on the street level. I would go all over Camden. I would go to Philadelphia and just hustle like a drug dealer, hustle CDs. Yo, Papa, what's up? I got CDs for sale. What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, I got that R&B. I got that hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I got that freestyle. Yo, you heard that song, Just Like the Wind? I'm the guy that sings that. As I look into your eyes. Yeah, that's me, Poppy. Yo, what's up? 2 for 10, 2 for 10. Yo, I'll give you a deal. I'll give you a deal, you know? So I was
Oh
hustling.
wow.
I was hustling on the street level. And I brought that to DJ Jose's attention. I'm like, yo, you could probably be like the next DJ Demo, but for Camden, New Jersey. We'll make some CDs.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start doing something and we'll start promoting them. And this is not my original thought as far as like I came up with this concept because this came into Ralphie Boy. I heard somebody say banging Boricuas in New York. So I started and I told DJ Jose, I was like, yo, we can call ourselves banging Boricuas. We're two Boricuas. You're banging on the turntables and I'm banging on the microphone. Like, yo, this is the one and only Peter Fontaine. Want to send a shout out to Red Queen in the house. You know how we do, baby. This is your song. You know what
Awesome.
I mean? Talk to me. Yeah, baby. It's all R&B stuff, And we started to make CDs. We started to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm selling them to all the people on the street level, I started to get back into that flow. And I was like, you know what? Not only can we do this, I'm going to start promoting my own shows. You know what I mean? Then I thought about a name of a record label, which was never put together. It's called Plastic Records, stretching across the world, stretching across the universe. And I used that as a production. Plastic Records presents Bangin' Boricuas, DJ Jose, and Peter Fontaine. Now we out. Now we're going from bar to bar to bar to like
Mm-hmm.
the biggest dealers in Camden. Oops. Nah. And we're talking to them like, yo, Papa, I can bring you people. I could bring you freestyle. And they went on that. And we did every bar you could think of in Camden, New Jersey. Every bar. And people started to recognize me again. And they started to recognize DJ Jose. And then I started to come up with you know what? I'm married at that time I was married. And I'm like, and Jose's married. And then my cousin Pika got involved with us. And Willie Will, God rest his soul, one of our members that passed away, Eric, got down with us. And we were like family members. So I was like, yo, this is pure family. Puro
Pura
familia,
familia.
you know? And then we would go places and just become that organization. And everybody had fun. Every time we did a show, and I'm going to tell you something, we did shows, and Pika could tell you, we
Well,
did
I heard
shows.
about a show you did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know you're going to come up. Yeah, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
bring that up. But all I can say
I
is,
heard.
to end it off, Camden, New Jersey showed us a lot of love. And I still got much respect for Camden. You know what I'm saying? And we did what we did. And after the Puro Familia from Camden, Jose retired. He didn't want to DJ no more. I had a couple of more people from Philadelphia show me love. And Philly's like my second home. Philly's my
But
second home.
Connecticut loves you too.
Yeah, that's what's up. I sent some Puro Familia shirts out to Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? I know, listen, I got love for anybody that got love for me, vice versa. And it's not being self-centered. It's just, I'm
Listen,
that
I give
guy.
credit. I give credit where credit is due.
Mm,
And I love Envy, but just like the win is you. That's you.
thank you.
The best version was yours because you are the original singer.
Well, then I am
You
the one
put
and only.
your feeling into it. You can tell your story through the song. You feel me? So I love it. I don't care. I love it, and I'm always gonna love it until the day I die. That's my song. Okay.
Let me tell you a little short story.
Just
You know what's funny?
don't tell nobody that it was for me that you wrote it. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you a real short story, real quick.
Dime.
It's funny because, like I said, I know Envy, and the same girl that I wrote the song for lived in the building that Envy used to go to. Robert and Ray. There was two guys that used to do fashion clothing for freestyle artists. And one
Mhm.
day Envy was there, and I happened to pop up, and the girl was there as well. And Robert and Ray was like, "Oh wow, we got two singers here. So why don't you sing to her a song?" And the song was "Careless Whispers," and she'll be the judge. She'll be the one that says who won. So she didn't pick a winner. She said, "Oh well, Peter sang it with passion, and MV sang it with sexiness." And I was like, "Sexiness, get sexy." Now let me stop. But you know that's just to let the people. And listen, you only got this on your interview. I never told nobody this. I never told nobody this. But that's so true. That's what happened. I was like, that's how much I've known him from then, you know, and that was way before the whole Just Like the Wind. That's when he had, I don't even think he was down with High Power at that time. I could be wrong, but he might have had um Girl You Hear Me Crying with he might have been signed to High Power, but you know what I'm saying? Or Some Kind of Love. I think that was his first Some Kind of Love. But I don't, like I said, I don't have nothing against the man. Just that, you know, stop singing my song with my vocals. Do your own, you know.
Mhm.
And if anybody out there, promoter wise, you heard it right here on Red Queen. Hire the real one, you know.
The Peter
Seriously,
Fontaine.
you're gonna get the real show. You ain't gonna get nothing that's
You got new music coming out?
yeah. Been working on new stuff. I'm gonna do a Pika thing. I'm gonna let you hear it. Now I saw the interview. My cousin was like, I'm gonna let you hear it. He was like,
Oh
yo, this is
shit!
not working. It's not working.
You keep tira la pica, dale, que yo te voy a tirar la tita ya mismo, dale. Dale.
I think it look. I think
Pica's
what is
my
he?
boy.
Because like he always sends me this stuff. Yo, I can't. I don't see it. I don't see it. What do you not see? You can't even see this on the camera. He's like, yo, I can't see. You
Pica,
know
I
that
got you.
queen.
I
You
got
know how
you.
to get on. You know how to get down with this, Pika. Come on. But now I was gonna play a little bit of my new stuff.
Why don't you
Um,
just sing it?
it's a little funny because you know, I nah,
Let me clear my throat.
right? No, I got so everybody knows a little bit of me. I tend to sing songs at my show. So in my head, it's not like I'm ego tripping. Like, and listen, I know a lot of probably freestyle artists. I'm not saying nothing wrong to y'all, but for me to put out something, this is just the way I am. For me to put out something that's like, oh, this is the banging song. I love it. And the crowd is like, yeah, I like it because of Peter, because you know me. No, be honest with me. It
Mhm.
sucks. You know, I don't like the song. You could have done better. So
I'll tell you if it sucks.
yeah, I perform the song a lot. I perform them. I perform these two songs. One is called Love of My Life. The other is called Stand Tall. And I performed them in Philly, New Jersey, Texas. Shout out to Texas and Joe Colunga and Celza. Oh, you guys are my peoples. And Envious Production, Alex and your wife. You know, shout out to you guys because you show me much love. I performed Stand Tall out there. And man, and I call them the Vatos Locos because Machicanos, you know what I'm saying, Holmes? Canal. Yo, they gave me so
Blood
much
in, blood
love.
out.
Yeah, they gave me so much love. They gave me a shirt called from Chicano Park that was like the lowriders. And when I sung Stand Tall, they were like, yo, canal, that's what's up. The song itself has a meaning of standing tall. Like if anybody that's ever put you down, pushed you back, or anything like that, it's like a strong song. And that was the purpose of me writing this song. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Love of My Life, I wrote that again for my wife. You know, I got so many songs I write for my wife that I have yet to put out. But well, of course, Close Your Eyes was one. Love of My Life is another one. And then I got like one or two more for her. But those songs, everybody heard them already. And
Sing something for me that nobody's heard.
nobody's heard.
Yeah,
Uh
a cappella.
Acapella. Let me see. Maybe Hey Mama. I wrote a song for my mother. Um
Did you put it
and
out?
no, never did. Never did. So before I sing this and before I mess up my throat, now let me stop.
Am I
Before I
gonna be
sing,
emotional?
no, no. Well, you
Well,
tell me. But
I get into the music, so if you're
this
gonna
song,
make me cry,
nah,
mess up my makeup.
this song I wrote for my mother, and I wrote for my grandmother. My grandmother passed away. My mother's
I'm
still
sorry.
alive. God bless. Love you, Mama G. Um, but I really didn't want to sing the song. I thought about Mark Anthony singing it, but we did a demo on it, and I think I performed it one time. But it's kind of like it's not freestyle at all. It's not freestyle at all. It's
Okay.
basically I'm a songwriter, so I write different kinds of genres of music. So the song starts off as I lay in my bed at night, thoughts of you in my mind, thinking of you. Are you all right? It's been so long since we spoken. I'm okay, even though I struggle with life each and every day. When times get hard, to God I pray to keep me strong, to keep me living on. Uh, for a second, I got caught up in a moment. As I so long, I'm keeping you in mind, sending you my love, bendición, mama, hey, mama, 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 hey, mama. I don't know.
That's a pretty song. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Virtual hug.
yeah, group hug. Oh, I hit him in the neck.
Virtual. No, I like it. I like it. You was gonna get me emotional because I saw you choked up.
Yeah,
Then I would have been crying too.
that would have been, what it is. I haven't called my mom's in a minute, and now she's calling me. Mira, tú no cantaste el canción. Nah,
Dito.
everybody heard
She
stories of
must be
love.
very proud of you.
Yeah, every stories of love was an old song that I never took out, and a lot of people in the industry did hear it. Um, I wrote that song for like a TKA kind of group. You know what I mean? Um, but my new song, "Love of My Life," that I'll sing a little something, and if you want, I'll let you hear it a little bit if you want. You know, um,
Whatever you want to give me. Because then we're gonna put you on the seat. We're gonna put
um,
you on the hot seat.
yeah, I know you got that. You've been waiting to ask me for that thing with that thing that went down, right? Um,
There's,
so
there's juicy shit. There's some juicy shit.
yeah, I'm gonna sing a little bit of "Love of My Life," and then I'm gonna sing a little bit of "Stand Tall." The first verse, a little of "Love of My Life," I dedicate it to you, my wife. I love you, babe. D. Scarpati. When I first saw you, I knew You were the one for me. The first time I laid my eyes on you, I knew we were meant to be. And then I gave you passion from deep inside. And you gave me love, so much love. You blew me out of my mind, the love of my life. You're my destiny. This is our time. We are meant to be. That's the love of my life.
That's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
You
Now,
got a
this,
badass voice. Let me tell you, you need to do impersonating Elvis.
oh, yeah, okay.
Cause in the beginning you sounded a little bit like him.
Like I was a, hey,
Hey.
sugar, sugar. This is
So
this is a stand tall, real quick.
go ahead.
And it goes, as I close my eyes, I can hear a melody. That's where I want to be. Music's my destiny. I can feel the music playing all night long. This is my fortune and fame. I want to sing a song. I want to do all I can, what I feel. I want to feel something. This music's so real. I want to stand aloud in the crowd. I want y'all to stand proud. Stand tall, I never fall. Do you think I would crumble? Stand tall, I never fall. I'm living in this jungle. Stand tall, I never fall. What do you think of me? Stand tall, I never fall. That's the way it's got to be. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, wait till you hear
Fire.
the music.
You brought out the fire. Now you're in
Mhm.
the hot seat.
Oh, ooh.
So I heard. You guys ready? You guys ready for this gossip? You guys know I don't do gossip, but this is
Hot
fact.
ear gossip.
It's bochincha time.
Listen, the
For you.
bodies are buried. I don't know where. Don't ask me. We were drunk that night. I'm sorry. Let me stop.
So for your birthday bash in
Ooh.
Club Calazo, that's the way
Oh,
you say it, in
Key
Queens.
Largo.
Eso mismo. There was a fight that broke out, and I heard that you jumped off the stage. You dove into the fight swinging.
Oh, my Lord.
What's
Yeah,
up
that
with
had to
that?
come from Pika. I know that. I knew that. I knew it.
I heard you was like Rocky Balboa.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Thank you. Show's over.
And then I heard that you threw poor Coral. You threw Coral in the pool.
Oh, no, no. That wasn't
that,
true.
that wasn't you.
Nah. He would have hit me with a broomstick. He was in the corner swinging at us with a broomstick. He's like, no, you're not grabbing me.
Oh shit!
You know I love you, Jose, but you know that was true. Don't say it wasn't. And if Carl was to watch this interview, don't say, I'm going to bring you back to recollection, Carl. Recollection.
And he wonders why he doesn't get many shows in New York.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
So
dice.
I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm going to tell you something.
Oh shit!
Young, dumb, and full of, So we were teenagers back then. We were wilding out. It was my birthday. We was acting all crazy. And things happened, you know. We were just having a fun time. And if anybody that knew Club Key Largo's from New York City, again, Big Al, Honorable Records, JR, and all that.
Hmm.
That was an old swim club, where people from Queens would go on the weekends and they go swimming. So they had a big swimming pool there. Woo, big swimming pool.
What kind of
So
swimming?
yeah, huh?
What kind of swimming?
Probably like unisex swimming. So, we feeling nice, getting our little drink on and stuff like that. Um, I got to give a shout out to my man, Reggie Benson, who's out in Florida now. Chicky Muñez, man, I haven't heard of that name in years. But Chicky Muñez was one of the hosts for Hot 97. And we had back then George Vascon, God bless his soul, like I said, but he was alive back then. So George asked Judy Torres, I believe, Two Without Hats and more, a couple of artists. That's how it was. Not the way it is now, but that's how it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
Club artists is when you had a birthday party, it was up to the artist if you wanted to perform. So Judy said, yeah, I'll do it. Two Without Hats. Yeah, I'll do it. Carlos Gustino, not the original Ronaldo, but Carlos Gustino sang Ronaldo's song, got up there to sing. And so we had a bunch of artists there. Mind you, my birthday party, Fascination was celebrating her birthday too, And so they had like birthday cakes in the back that we thought was mine. And the guys got all stupid and they grabbed her cake and my cake and all over our faces and, that kind of deal, and pizza and slap you in the face with a pizza pie.
Pika said you forgot about him. He said, and me, damn it.
Oh, what? And Pika performed? You know what you performed in? You performed in just staying on that damn chair. You didn't even... Nah, let me stop. I love my cousin Pika. But he had that song, Te Pasa, Te Pica el Culo. Yeah, that itch dance song.
Yep. I heard that. That's hilarious.
So we were just feeling it. And I started, my boy Reggie started to challenge me to grab people and throw them in the pool. So one of those guys was Chicky Muñez. Mind you, let me tell you this story. Chicky Muñez was a big, kind of like a football player looking kind of dude. We're playing pool in the back, and Reggie keeps like icking me, like, yo, Pete, get off my, what you doing, Reg, man? Yo, why don't you take Chicky and let's throw him in the pool. Let's throw him in the pool? Yeah, you grab him first. Why me? Well, Pete, you're that dude. Like, really? I'm elected to grab him first? All right, you know what? Yeah, let me take a couple of more little, And so I did. I tackled Chicky Muñez. Man, this guy fell on top of me like a freaking ton of bricks. We're just grabbing him, and we couldn't even pick him up. We're dragging him halfway on the floor. We threw him in the pool. Then he comes out the pool like a wet, soggy bear. I'm going to kill somebody. We're like, laughing. I'm looking at anybody else. Who's next? Corval. And he was in the corner. Don't let anybody tell you the story different. We did not throw him in the pool because he was in a corner with a broomstick like this. I don't want to try to grab the guy and get knocked in the head with a broomstick. It's not that serious, okay? It's not that serious. I'm like, I déjalo quieto, okay? Leave him alone, And I was like, yeah, leave him alone. I grabbed Carlos Gustinos, who was singing Ronaldo's song at that time. And, he gives me in a headlock and, yo, Pete, don't do this. And so we were just acting wild. So I had a lot of my panitas there. Come to find out, after everything went down, my boy Steve Cetera, he, I believe he became a police officer, but this guy had a voice like George Lamond back then. And real quick story on Steve. He wrote a song called Homie in the Dark. I knew Steve and I knew the producer to that song, which was my best friend. His name is Robert Mendez, TK. And we went to New York City at Pure Pleasure, Jose from Pure Pleasure, to ask permission for that song. And Pure Pleasure took out that song. If anybody doesn't know the song, look it up on YouTube. It's called Homie in the Dark. The original singer is Steve, my boy. Homie in the dark, so I can see a thing, and I forget the words, whatever. But
you're freaking hilarious.
So Steve wrote that song. But so Steve's my
Whatever.
boy. You know what I'm saying? So he's in the crowd. He's in the crowd. Now, Scotty, I believe it was it Scotty that started the fight? I believe it was Scotty started the fight. Steve is standing right here. Okay, I got two hands right here. Steve is right here. And there's another guy right here. And then Scotty is right here. Oh, no, excuse me. Scotty's over here, somewhere over here. So from what I heard afterwards, my boy Scotty flicked somebody's ear while they were standing in the crowd while I'm singing The Way She Looks at Me. Is there a way that I can prove my love to you? Ah, la, 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 he is flicking his ear. I don't know. And he flicks his ear, and then he bends down to tie his sneaker.
Mm-hmm.
When he bends down, the guy that he just flicked his ear looks and goes, and he sees my boy Steve. And he's like, oh, he's the guy that flicked my ear. Toma. And then Steve, oh, toma, toma, and they just start going off. Then I see my boy TK. This guy's at that time was like 300 and something pounds, just jump into this mosh pit of people just hitting each other's and getting, oh, this is, and is there a way that I can hold up? That's TK. That's Scott. Oh, you're good. Boom, and I just throw him right down and I just dive in like a freaking football, like somebody trying to get to the goal line. And that kind of deal going on.
You didn't know who you was hitting.
Man, let me tell you, at the ending of it all, I got bench pressed by some guy. His arm must have been like two of my legs, okay?
Wow.
And Big Al was like, yo, that's the art. That's the birthday boy. That's Peter Fontaine. That's the artist. He was like, yo, he hit me and blah, 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 blah. And I'm still trying to like, oh, I'll bite your ear like Mike Tyson. This is not hurting you? Ooh, where's my knife? I'm Puerto Rican. Where's my knife? Now let me stop.
Poke him in the jugular.
So after that, he put me down. Big Al's like, messed up. You had this whole club, your birthday. Bye-bye. And we left. You know, it was crazy, you know. But that was just one. I mean, listen, I'm not the bad boy of freestyle. I know probably other freestyle artists just won't admit it because they want this to be. But years ago, somebody said something to me. And I know this sounds crazy, but they were like, freestyle music? Isn't that kind of funny, Duddy? Like bubblegum stuff? I'm like, yo, you're not from the Bronx, man. You're not from New York. You know, do you not know the stuff that we had to endure going to nightclubs? In the beginning of my career, I could tell you so many other stories that were just horrifying, to be honest. You know, going to clubs, integrating with other cultures that they were like, what kind of music is this? You know, a famous story that I've always had, and I don't know if you know who DJ Clark Kent is. He's from hip hop. DJ Clark Kent.
I heard of that.
Yeah, DJ Clark Kent. And we went to Brooklyn with Judy Torres. I went to Brooklyn with Judy Torres to perform. And Judy Torres, Profile Records, you know, she was kind of like the freestyle, totally different from what they were doing on Profile.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jackie Jack Records and so on and so forth, but people know the history. And George Vascon had me open up for her. And Clark Kent, this was like a hood crowd, a straight up hood crowd. And I'm like, oh, snap. Like, I can't go out there and do my show tape the way they had me doing it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had my show tape, you know, singing The Way She Looks at Me and, you know, and opening up. And I'll probably get hit with a couple of tomatoes or maybe a bottle or something. So Clark Kent, the way he announced to me, he was like, we got another up and coming artist. Yeah, somebody about to sing something. uh, Peter Fontaine, Peter Foncool, what? Yeah, Peter Fontaine. And I'm like,
Ooh.
yo, real quick. I was like, hold up. I told the DJ, I was like, yo, do you got Apache or the big beat? You know, everybody knows Apache. Boom, ba, 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 boom, ba, boom, boom, ba, 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 boom, ba, ba, boom, boom, ba. You know, or the big beat. I got the big, and if you was a good DJ, you scratch that. Boom, boom, ga, boom, boom, ga, boom, boom, ga. I was like, yo, can you start me off with the big beat, scratch, and then throw in the Apache? He was like, what about your song? I got your show tape. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not. And as God is my witness, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going out there singing, is there a way that I can prove my love to, like this kind of beat? The DJ was like, yo, I got you. Yeah, all right. So when I went out there, he scratched up the big beat. Boom, boom, ga, boom, boom, ga, boom, boom, ga. And I switched it up. Is there a way that I can prove my love to you? I see the way that she looks at me inside those long, and everybody was grooving to that. They were like, okay, I'm like some new R&B artist about to come out. And I blew the show out the water.
That's
and then Clark Kent came back and he was like, yo, that's hot, man. I'm like, yo, my man, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't do my show tape because I'm from the hood. I'm telling you, you come to my hood with some crazy stuff like that, and I'm not absorbing you, you know, it could have been a hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. This Latino is from La Calle. I know what I'm at, and I know where I'm at. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna please the crowd. You're gonna walk away, and then you're gonna probably want to buy my record. You'll be like, yo, this is different from what he just sung. But honestly, on the stage, like I said, I'm Mike Tyson. I am Fontaine. And I'm not trying to sound cocky, but that's my arena. I try to put on the best show for everybody. I try to make you walk away feeling my presence. You know, I've done it in the Apollo. I performed at the Apollo, you know, where it was a Latino night, you know, and excuse me, you know, all respect, it wasn't an Afro-American night, wasn't a black night, or, you know, it was a Latino night. And again, with Judy, you know, opening up for her, and at the Apollo, I'm like, man, I'm on this stage where R&B people from back, I'm talking about like Aretha Franklin, they've touched this stage. I cannot come out here and do something that is just, he's okay. No, I have to leave people with this. Yo, that's Peter. And I had my cousin Jose Ortiz, my cousin Ruben, and my boy Henry dancing for me. I performed at Roseland, and here's another funny story for y'all. Right? I performed
Remix.
right? I performed at Roseland, and this was so true. It has nothing to be against anybody. You don't, you know. But they were screaming at me, go Pato, go Pato, go Pato.
Go Pato?
Yeah, go Pato.
Get the fuck out of here.
Only because while I was singing, the way she looks at me, there was a female in the front of the stage. She kept pointing to something. And I'm like, yeah, I think she's pointing at me. She was pointing to, I guess, a glass of water or something that was on stage. And as I'm doing back, doing the running man, all dressed in beige, all of a sudden, Toma! I just on my face. Toma, right here. All this was all like nasty looking. All my whole outfit was all stained. So of course it's embarrassing. You know, I'm on stage. But what was the purpose? The whole Roseland, because there was a lot of Latinos. They see you fall, next thing you know, go Pato, go Pato, go Pato. That was Baby J's birthday bash. Shout out to Baby J. I said, hold up. In the middle of the show, I was like, hold up. Oh, no. Forget this. Forget the music. Stop the song. Stop it. Stop the song. He stops it. I go, you saying go pato? Aquí no hay ningún pato. Aquí hay ciento puro boricua de la calle. 103, rise up. Yo, Latinos, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, ah! They started to go berserk. Like, ah! Ah! And just because I embarrassed myself for that little moment,
I heard you. It hurt your
my
pride.
shirt, I started to break dance. I started to do like my little windmills and swipes. I'm gonna do the Bionic Man. I'm gonna explode. Toma on stage, and everybody gave me the respect. And then when I got off stage, this was back then, but when I got off stage, I was like, "Yo, what's up? Let's roll that blunt. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Where's the champagne? You know what I'm saying? What's up?" And they were like, "Yo, that was just you on stage. You're right. Was you the guy that saying go pato? Oh, okay. You got bamboo?"
Oh.
I was wild, man.
Edie says Roseland was the shit. So many memories.
Yeah, listen, we've done Roseland so many times. Palladium, Roseland. Those memories that we have. And I've always said to my fan base, like, if anybody had that on VHS, they do. Listen, Tony Garcia, I don't talk to him like that. Tony Garcia's got that. My wife has been dying to see that. When I hit that floor, my face, toma. La cara. You know? It's so much history in New York. It was just rich. And so many big nightclubs that shut down. And Edie knows, and Ronaldo and any artist knows. La Mirage was another place. La Mirage, the Bronx, Cool Mike Ski. Whew. Man, sometimes you know, it was good nights, and then sometimes you don't know. You might have to walk out there with a bulletproof vest, you know. So anybody who said that us as legends, yeah, thank you so much. I praise people. Excuse, I praise God, but I'm saying I thank everybody for considering me a legend. But the stuff that we went through, some of the
Did you
new
ever
school,
have to sacrifice? Did you ever have to sacrifice just to make it?
what, a little mouse? You should talking about sacrifice a mouse? Nah. Well, what do you mean sacrifice? What?
Like, have you ever had to sacrifice anything in life just to make it in the freestyle genre?
Nah, not really. I can't say not really. To be honest, I
Was
was
it always
young.
was it always a passion of yours
To
to
what?
sing,
Like,
to be famous because you are famous?
well, I'm famous. I'm famous on the weekends, and then back on Monday, I'm my wife's husband. Let me stop. Uh, but
But you're your
no,
wife's husband every day. But I'm
yeah,
saying
all the time.
to us freestyle freaks, like I
Well,
call them, you are famous.
sacrifice, not really. And I'm gonna be honest, because we're not like Jay-Z or Eminem.
But to
You
us, you
know,
are.
well, I can walk around and people will notice me. Oh, that's Peter, and they're more kinder. You know, um, if I was overseas, you know, and like I said, I know NV and Sammy Zone. They said when they went overseas, they could not even go to McDonald's without a crowd, like a Michael Jackson crowd. Like, oh my God. Ah! You
Yeah.
know, I think I only went through that maybe one time in Perth Amboy, at this place called the Ritz, where the females were crazy. Um, Another crazy story. One of the females grabbed my zipper, like, ah! I'm like, yo, let go, yo. Don't you see she's attacking? I can't even sing the song. You know, she's
Sexual
grabbing on me.
harassment.
Yeah. And my two dancers at that time, I don't know if you know this, but one of my original dancers is Flex, Boricua Posse, the original Boricua Posse. Yo, fellas, Rare Arts. He was one of my dancers. He started off with me. And he'll tell you the story, you know. and it was Flex and my cousin Ruben Jose. That when we went to the Ritz, I don't know, man. It was like, ooh, they were grabbing on them. We used to do this like pose before we would start a show. We stand like, we know, or we think we're the crap or the shit, so to speak. Ah, you ready? I'm tired of holding this. What the hell's going? And the females will go berserk. And they started grabbing Flex. They started grabbing my cousin to the point I was like, yo, I got to get out of here. I took the limo. I went back to New York. And I lost my cousin for like 2 days, 3 days. I was like, yo, where the hell are you? I'm still in Perth Amboy, man. Yo, this is the shit.
When you heard your song for the very first time on the radio, how did that feel?
I don't know. I mean, I heard it on a mix. I never was really on the radio. I heard my like commercials of me.
No, I've heard it on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, afterwards, people used to play it on a mix. I think what it was, I never really took a grasp to it. I used to walk around. Paterson, New Jersey, or if I go visit one of my cousins up in Connecticut, and I would hear like a car, drive by thumping it. As I look into your eyes, I'm like, oh snap. Yo, they were just playing my song. They were like, yo, they love your shit out here, Pete. They love you out here, man. They got much love.
I play it all the time in the car.
And I was like, wow. And it didn't hit me until really, like I said, I got to give Camden a lot of love. It didn't really hit me until I met a panita or two that just came home from prison, from jail. And they were like, yo, Papa, I used to listen to that up in jail. I was like, did you have a lot of fights when you were listening to that? Do they listen?
My ex-husband used to listen to it in jail. When he came out was when he started singing it to me.
And what's funny? The fact that I was like, I didn't think that they listen, because I'm thinking streetwise, I'm thinking you listen to all that hardcore hip hop. And it was not, it was a bunch of Latinos in jail listening to my song. And I'm like, wow, much respect, man. And they would tell me, yo, you're the shit, dog. I got much respect for you, man. I dedicated this to my girl, or I'm like, wow. I mean, dudes that I was like, like I said, I respect all men, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, damn, you just don't look like the type that would listen to that. Tattoos all over.
And it's the most thuggish niggas that you see.
Yeah.
Are listening to it.
And that, after a while, I really kind of felt at home with that, because after a while, when they started to get to know me as a person, that, I'm not going to tell you all my demons or whatever, but I'm just saying, they were like, yo, you just like us, man. Like, I can't understand. Really? That girl whooped you like that for you to sing a song? Yo, that's what's up. I don't think I would be able to do something like that. I'm like, well, look, man, there's a little part of me that's a little sensitive on that, perspective. But I'm like, that's exactly what went down. That's exactly what happened. It's like, and plus I'm a singer. So I'm singing my feelings on wax. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it nowadays, it's crazy because a lot of like certain hip hop rap, hip hop MCs, they sing their emotions. It was like, no, I'm Latino. I don't love. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? You got a bunch of kids. You don't love your first wife. You know what I'm saying? You don't love your mommy. You know what I'm saying? You don't cry for your dad. He passed away. Like, come on, man. We all got different emotions. We got that stereo wall type. Like, this is the way I'm supposed to say.
The thuggest ones are the most emotional ones.
Well, yeah. It's because that's why we act on stuff. I think, how you say we're the type to be, we'll act on something to the point it becomes us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I feel emotion about something, I'm gonna react on it. I'm not gonna hold it inside.
But that's when you come out and you write it on paper.
Write it on paper.
And that's the fire.
Write it on a wall.
The fire comes out.
Write it on paper, write it on the wall, or or do something else with it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh oh. Uh oh.
What happened? Somebody
No,
said something.
no, no, no. I'm saying oh for your wife because if you gotta react like that, it's fire for her butt.
Oh, my wife knows. You know what? My wife keeps me in balance.
It goes for sexual healing.
Oh, yeah.
Sexual healing. There we go. That's the word.
That's it. And
That's
Marvin
it.
Gaye said it the right way.
There you
That's
go.
something. You know, I
But
always think
Peter, go ahead.
that emotions are something we go through. And I've told my wife this. Listen, I've said this to her many of times. I said my first love real, really was dancing, but then my second really was like the music. If I had not again been involved in something like that, I don't know where I would have went. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what direction I would have went. I mean, I'm not a weak-minded person, but I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew so many people on a street level. I knew, you know, just like anything, the good and the bad. It's like a choice. Either you do something with your talent and put a positive into it. Like boxers. They could be thugging it out, knocking somebody out, not getting paid for it, and just getting the satisfaction. Like, yo, you said something wrong to me, I knocked you out. Or
Hmm.
they used it to their advantage to become a lightweight boxer, a heavyweight boxer, and it goes back to Zulu. It goes back to my cousin Lucky. That's his way of thinking. He was involved in big time gangs, big time. He told me stories, and I was like, wow. And he was like, man, you gotta you know, chain your energy into something. Um, and it doesn't have to be entertainment. It could be painting. It could be your work. It could be cooking, whatever. But you chain that. The more you get angry at certain things, don't let it become you. Take that and change it around.
Hmm.
Um, and I just thank God, that I'm at and where I'm at right now. I got a son, I got a beautiful wife, got a nice house. I got my dogs, and I've said it. I still do this because of it's a passion, but it's because my fans. People like you, people like that. Yo, that's Peter Fontaine, and I love Just Like the Wind. And when they ask me to come do a show, of course, it's business. I come do a show, but I'm gonna give you the best that I can. And everybody that supported me, because you guys, if it wasn't, and I always said, if it's not for the fan base, I just would be irrelevant. You know, I would just probably sing for my family. I wouldn't be out there the way I am. You know,
So we thank you. We thank you for being you, and we thank your wife for letting you come out and sing for all these crazy women.
listen, my
'Cause
listen,
let
my
me
wife.
tell you, I've seen women that go crazy when they see a freestyle artist, and I'd be like, but wait, he's regular person.
Yeah, she ain't jealous. I'm telling you, she is not jealous. The one thing that she knew when she met me is that you're a singer. So, and she's understanding of the music business.
Hmm.
Now she's getting to understand it more and more. In the beginning, she was like, I can't understand the fact of how these people are here and some people are here and some people need to be here and
Yeah,
but as far as the old school artists is like us, she was out there gigging to my Just Like the Wind before she met me, like, yeah, there's nothing to you guys. And then, she come meet me and I fall in love with her and we get involved. And now she's like, wow. And she benefits a little bit with me because I always try to involve her. Um,
that's good.
Respectful to all the women out there, you know. Y'all, I'm singing to y'all, but at the same time, I'm having a good time with my wife and enjoying, when we went to Texas, all the girls out there treated her like a queen, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, that's what's up. And my wife got to drinking with them and chilling, and then we enjoyed just going around. That's the one good thing when we travel and we travel together, we get to enjoy that. And who wouldn't want that? If you got a boyfriend or a hubby right now who is able to travel to do something that he loved, and you're able to be involved with him, and you're like, wow, we just went to Mexico, Toma, we out here and chilling. He doing his thing and singing. We get
Where
to
did
eat
that
some
name
Taco Bells. No, I'm sorry.
we get Taco Bells? Where did that name Peter Fontaine come from?
Ah, somebody rolled it up in a piece of paper and said, Toma, here, that's what you call yourself. Nah.
Did you pick it out of a hat?
Um, so my stepfather, Mr. Lon Fontaine, God rest his soul, lost him a couple of years back. Um, so as body mechanic, as when we started off in the interview, I was known as body mechanic, and this man came from California, and based on the movie Flashdance, wanted to hire a couple of pop lockers in a show that he was doing in Canal Street in a
Hmm.
in a expensive like Italian restaurant. And my brother Ike, he was a counselor for like troubled kids, meaning like
Yes.
kids in and out, in trouble homes. So on 106 on the west side, Central Park West, Ike met Mr. Fontaine, and he was telling him about it. He was like, "Oh, my brother Pete, man, he's a pop locker, body mechanic, they call him. I think he might be a good guy, that you might just want to hire. So he got me the interview with Mr. Fontaine. I did the show, um, SBQRs. It was called Flash Mania, and God rest my grandmother, so she was alive at that time. But I was young, 15,
Hmm.
16 years old, and here I'm coming home with like $500-600 a week from doing shows with Mr. Fontaine. So my grandmother was like, "Well, what kind of a job is that?" I'm like, "Grandma, it's that, I don't spin on my head, but I do this whoop, 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 this pop lock, and I get paid for that." She's like, grandmothers back then,
Trabajó para
really?
eso.
You
Trabajó
get
para
paid for that?
eso.
Yeah. ¿Qué tú estás vendiendo? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo lo vendo. I'm not selling nothing. Look, grandma, I'm selling pop lock, pop lock. That's what I'm. So she wanted to know where, I was getting this money from. And I told Mr. Fontaine, and he was aware of it. He was like, invite your grandmother down, your family. Let them see what you're doing. So she came down to the restaurant, um, downtown Canal Street. She saw me on stage, dancing. Mr. Fontaine, like, offered her everything, like, you know, dinner for the night, drinks, whatever. Then he said, after the show, come down to my apartment on 106th Street, and I can talk with you more. And she did so, And my Mr. Fontaine told her, he said, your grandson is very talented. And if this show takes off, if we start to travel with it to Cali, to wherever, um, I'm gonna have to like kind of like be the legal guardian. Um, so in permission, would you grant that? And my grandmother knew that I was passionate about it, and she said, no problem. She said, no problem at all. So she gave him authorization for him to take me in as like a son.
Hmm.
And at that time, there was no me thinking about just like the wind or the way she looks at me. I'm still doing my dancing thing. Like I said, here comes, Maria and Scars of Love and all that, Arabian Nights. And I'm like, oh man, that's that movement. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Pero, everybody that knows now, and I've said this only like, I said this only two times. Two times. You see that? Two times? I got three fingers up two times.
Mm-hmm.
That my real name is Pedro Arrocho,
Roach.
aka Peter Fontaine. So Pedro Arrocho
Roach.
doesn't sound, and I always used to do this. Judy Torres, Suave, Pedro Arrocho,
Well,
nah,
it is catchy.
but as a salsero,
Yeah.
as a salsero, you'd be like, Rubén Blades, Héctor Lavoe y Pedro Arrocho cantando como ella le mira. It sounds like, so,
Have you ever thought about singing in Spanish
yeah, well, mm, you
or
know,
putting some Spanish in one of your freestyle songs?
I'll get back to that in a minute because there was a female that did my song as a demo. I asked her to do it for one moment in time, solo una vez. And I tried doing that in a little salsa feel, but
Hmm.
it didn't really work out. So if anybody who's educational, they know that Pedro in English is Peter.
Hmm.
So I was like, Pedro, Peter, Pedro, Peter. And after years and years down the line, as I got, Mr. Fontaine adopted me, so to speak, as a son. He adopted me as his son. He wrote a book called was it Dancing on the Stars? A star Lon Fontaine, A Star is Born. You could check it out.
He says,
Um
"Don't take her idea and make it yours."
uh, what idea is that, babe? So he wrote a book, and in the book he officially speaks on how he adopted me, my son. And I started to look up to him as a father figure, as a father figure.
Hmm.
And I was like, Pop, you know uh I think I'm gonna get into this music stuff, this what they calling it Latin hip hop, because that's what it was called back then, before they called it freestyle music. It's called Latin hip hop. And I said, and I'm gonna call myself Peter Fontaine. He was like, mind you, he he was Creole, so black, a little bit of boy, you better stamp that name and make it good. I'm like, all right, I got your approval. That's what's up. You know what I mean? And that's basically what happened. Mr. Fontaine gave me that stamp of approval. He said, anybody questions that, you know what it is. You my son. I'm like, that's what's up.
Aw.
You know? So Peter Fontaine it became, you know what I mean?
Like your wife said, a star is born.
Yeah, you know. And to be honest, it's funny because my step pops wanted to get involved in the whole freestyle thing way before Mark Anthony became Mark Anthony, that we know. He was like, you gotta sing Spanish, Peter. You gotta go over to the culture and sing the Spanish. I'm like, Dad, I'm singing the way she looks at me. Just like the wind. But that's really basically the whole Peter Fontaine thing. And you know what's funny? Tony Garcia asked me that. Yeah, star dancing, baby. Thank you. Yeah, I see it. My wife, star dancing is called. So if anybody wants to look that up, just to double check, you're gonna see me. You're gonna see my brother Lewis, God rest his soul, star dancing. You know, and my wife hopes that she would have had those videos because she was like, I was in spandex.
He was in spandex.
Embarrassing.
Oh. We gotta try to find that for D. Whoever got them, please send them to her.
Yeah, look at my face right now.
He ain't gonna do nothing. Send
I'm
them
just
to
saying,
her.
no.
Send them to her, people.
Me being me, and I'm like, everybody's like, yo, let me try to find that right now. Peter's spandex.
Look for that.
Woo!
Look for that, and please send it to D. I've seen you in spandex, she said.
Oh my lord, yeah. But is
Good
Pika still
memories.
on?
Good memories.
Yes.
I don't know if Pika's still on. Pika, where are you?
He's like, no, I had too much
He's
to
probably
drink. And
playing.
I'm gone.
He's probably playing his video game.
Yeah, he
Because I
probably
called
is.
him earlier. He was playing video games, and I'm like, really, really? Remember when you didn't have long johns?
What?
D
Who
said,
said that?
D, remember when you didn't have long johns?
All right.
Where you coming at from with that? What's going on, D? Tell me the story.
This is sideways with it now. My wife had little too much teeny martinis.
Uh oh. So Peter, thank you so much.
Yeah, I
I
thank
really
you.
enjoyed this interview.
Yep, I
You're
thank you.
freaking awesome.
Yep.
You
I
keep up
hope,
the great work.
yeah, I hope I was able to answer any questions that you had or anybody that had as far as my career. Um Still doing what I'm doing. I thank everybody that still hires me for shows and respects the whole fact that we doing what we doing for the year uh 2022. You know what I mean? We're trying to come in hard. It's taking a little time for some of the songs to come out. I know a lot of my fan base is just waiting on like these two new tracks. But just be more patient, man. By hopefully by August, my two not to say just the two new tracks, but hopefully like the whole album thing will be coming out. Because I'm just trying to put this all together.
I
And
can't wait. It's
yeah,
gonna be good.
oh yeah. And you know what? Let me ask you a question. At first, I thought you was from Chicago or no.
Cool.
For some reason, I thought some reason you was from Chicago. I don't know why.
No,
And I come to find out you from Connecticut.
I'm from Connecticut. Well, I'm originally from Brooklyn.
Okay.
I'm a
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
in the
girl
house.
from Bushwick, but
Okay.
I'm in Connecticut because of my kids.
Okay.
And
And what part of Connecticut? Anywhere or
the
where at?
dirty waters.
The dirt. Are you serious? It's called a
Yeah.
dirty. Uh,
No, it's called Waterbury, but they call
oh,
it the dirty
Waterbury.
waters.
Okay. I'm like, is this a part of Connecticut called the Dirty Waters? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, but
unfortunately, but
everybody out there,
I
that's
travel. I travel. I
okay.
travel.
That's what's up. I want to give a shout out to Connecticut because you guys, as well as you show me so much love. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out there, you know,
Yeah, come
Dirty
out here.
Waters, Connecticut,
You gotta
Springfield,
come out
Connecticut
here.
in the house. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta
What's it?
come out here
Hartford,
and do
Connecticut in the
do a
house.
show.
You know?
I'll be there. So
Oh
I'll
yeah,
bring a whole crew.
yeah. That's what's up. We got much love for Connecticut. Me, my wife, my cousin, we've been out there for shows. Um, Giving a little shout out to CPR because he's hooked us up with shows out there, and you guys got a lot of love for me, man. He said there's a rule in Connecticut that they have that um, they don't
Alexi,
hire
Alexi,
NV, they only hire Peter Fontaine.
Alexi is somebody from your crew, right? Alexi Figueroa.
Alexia? Oh yeah, yeah. Yup. He's out there in Connecticut.
He said he went to Crosby High School. I got kicked out of that school.
To what?
Crosby High School out here. So he's out. You in Waterbury? Oh damn. Well, I got kicked out of there, and I got kicked out of Kennedy High School. So I got expelled.
Yeah, yo, that's
Por
one of my old
buena.
peoples from New
Por
York.
buena.
He's out there, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully if everything goes well, man, with Stan Tall, hopefully, I'll try to put a video together. And I know he's a videographer, that he does things like that. So hopefully I'll get some Connecticut people involved and a lot of people, especially for Stan Tall. I had a vision in my head today about that, just having a bunch of El Barrio hood stuff, people on
Yeah.
bikes and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll get, done, but that's for sure.
Stanza.
Yeah, there you go.
He's in Springfield, Mass. Now he says.
Yes.
So let's do some shout outs. We already shouted him out. Carlos, shout outs to you, bro, because you're always on my lives. Always. Thank you for the support. D, You're the queen. I bow to you.
Mm.
Even though I'm Red Queen, but you're the queen, Fontaine. I bow to you, baby. Chino, what's up? Anna Morales, always supporting.
You said always a 40?
Always supporting.
Oh, I thought you
Oye, tú
said
estás
always a
bebiendo
40.
mucho, tú estás bebiendo mucho, tú
Yeah,
estás pensando en la 40.
Yeah, I just heard that. I don't know. It said always a 40. I'm like, what are we drinking here? What? Oldie?
Willie Colon.
Coqui 900? What are we drinking here? 45.
No, I don't drink. I used to. I'll
Yeah.
drink Henny here and there, but no, I don't drink. Edie, of course,
Edie. Much love to you,
is the
Edie. Thank
best.
you. You know,
Pika left, I think. Pika's nowhere around. Orlando, DJ Orlando.
Orlando out in Florida, right?
Yeah, he just moved out there.
Yeah, there you go. Happy belated birthday, man. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get out there like you wanted me to, but one day I'll get out there. You know what I'm saying?
We got Frankie.
Cutlass? Let me stop.
No, no, he won't come to my shows. He won't.
No?
No, he don't like me very much.
Uh, it's
It's
okay.
okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. That's all right.
Oh, you use my
America.
line. Yeah. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but depends on what I put in my cup of tea.
Well, I'm not. It's like I say all the time. I'm not gonna be liked by everybody. That's not what I'm here for. Some are gonna hate me. Some are gonna like me. As long as they all respect me, I don't care. Uh oh.
Hear that?
Uh oh.
I knew you were the one
Love of my
for
life.
me. The
Ah.
first time I laid my eyes on you, I knew we were meant to be. And then I gave you passion from deep inside. And you gave me love, so much love. You blew me out of my mind. The love of my life, you're my destiny.
I tell you, I was going to let you hear it a little bit.
We are meant to be.
Oh, stand tall real quick before we go off.
Go ahead.
You're going to like this. Exclusive on Red Queen. Nobody. Y'all haven't heard.
As I close my eyes, I can hear a melody. That's where I wanna be. Music's my destiny. I can feel this music playing all night long. This is my fortune and fame. I wanna sing a song. I wanna do what I can, what I feel. I wanna feel something. This music's so real. I wanna dance aloud in the crowd. I want to
Chorus.
stand proud. Stand tall, I never fall. Do you think I would crumble? Stand tall, I never fall.
We're living in this jungle.
Stand tall, I never fall.
What do you think of me?
Stand tall, I never fall. That's the way it's got to be. Oh yeah.
Anytime you want me to, I'll perform.
No, 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 no.
That make me want to dance.
Ah, this is fire. Y'all don't know what I'm about to drop for the summertime. These are just two of them. I got like 5 more.
I wanna do all I can, what I feel.
I'm gonna let y'all off with this.
This music
I'm gonna tease y'all.
I wanna stand aloud in the crowd. I wanna stand proud.
That's it.
That's
That's it.
what's up.
That's it.
Thank
That's
you,
it.
everybody, for joining. We love you.
Much love
Much
and respect.
respect. God bless you all. I'm going to leave you guys with this right here. Hold on, let me get it. Let me get it. Espérate. Aquí.
I see your eyes across the room, tension in the air, my lonely feeling, girl, I know that you're still there, but what am I supposed to do? Life is such a gamble, the section of the